All right, guys, let's get into it. High School Musical, the first movie. It's a classic.
It is.
I honestly, I'll be honest, I had a hard time taking notes.
Same.
I'll read them because I don't have a lot of them because I had a hard time and I wrote down why I had a hard time. Um, okay, I'll start off. I knew my life was going to change forever when the simple title of a Disney Channel original movie came on the screen. The simpleness of the black screen with like the Times New Roman text
Yeah.
of a Disney Channel original movie, I got chills. I got chills running through my body when I watched that back. And I knew that this was going to change my life the first time I saw it. I just knew it. Second note, Gabriella's mom tried making Gabby happen, but it was never going to happen. In the first scene, she calls her Gabby.
Yeah.
Never again do we hear Gabby.
No, maybe just something between mother and daughter.
And let me tell you, she's not a Gabby. She's a
She's not.
Gabriella.
She is a
She's
Gabriella.
just she's just not a Gabby.
Yeah.
Um, I also knew when I saw Zac Efron for the first time, my life was going to change forever.
Yep. I think we all
Seeing
felt
Zac
that way.
Efron in the basketball court like that, I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like, how did they find him?
Yeah.
And thank God they did.
Thank God they did.
Um, then I have it truly was the start of something new. Like this, like all my notes are just like I'm happy to be here.
No,
Like
I know,
I
same. That mine were too. Did you ever watch that show? So like High School Musical happened and Zac Efron, like the obsession began, right? And then
Mhm.
when I got older, I went back and watched the TV show he did before High School Musical.
No, I never watched.
Okay, so it was a show called Summerland.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and he still had his little
Yes.
gap in
Yes.
his teeth, and he played
Yep.
Cameron, and it was with
Mhm.
Lori Loughlin. It was Lori
Yep.
Loughlin, Jesse McCartney, Kay
Yes.
Panabaker.
Yes.
Um,
I actually did watch some of this.
yes, and it was on the WB, and it was only 2 seasons, and then it got canceled. But it's a good um it's like a really good early 2000s like
Mhm.
teen drama.
Yeah. Yes, because I remember Jesse McCartney in that as well.
Jesse McCartney, yep.
Um, I wrote they were actually good actors.
Yeah.
I thought that they were really good.
This
All
we're just
all
gonna be like
except for
happy to be
one.
here. Happy to be here.
Who do
Who
you
do you
think?
think's bad?
That's like multiple notes I have on this one actor. I don't know if I want to save it for my notes.
Okay, say it because I'm curious if I wrote this
I
down
think
the
I
same
have the
way.
exact
Troy's dad.
Oh my God, I was gonna say the exact opposite. I literally have written down Bart Johnson put on an award-winning performance.
He is so like over the top. It's hilarious. Like he's
Yeah,
my favorite character.
he has some of the most iconic lines in this
No,
movie.
he's my favorite character, but it's because of like how ridiculous his acting is.
Um, the reason I wrote that down was because of Taylor. Taylor McKessie, like I thought was really good. And then I
Yeah.
wrote that down. I was like, they were actually good actors.
Yeah.
Um, my next note is the problem is I can't find anything bad to say.
Yeah.
Like I truly couldn't find anything bad to say about this movie. Like
Yeah.
I was like trying to write down funny things and I couldn't even think of any funny jokes or anything to make fun of because I was like this fucking movie is fantastic.
Rita
Like
was just watching the movie, sitting on her couch, smiling. No,
no, I
this.
was. I at one point I was watching and realized I wasn't even writing, like checking my phone or writing anything down. That's
Yeah.
why I have such little notes, is because I was just enjoying my time while watching the movie. Um, my next note is: did Kenny Ortega win any awards for his insane choreography? Dancing with the Textbooks, groundbreaking.
Yeah. I
Stick
know.
to the status quo, an ensemble cast performance, A plus,
Is Kenny
A
Ortega in
plus.
the Disney Legends? Because he should be.
He should be. He fucking should. High School Music. I'm sorry, I'm cursing a lot because I'm passionate about how
Yeah.
good High School Musical is. High School Musical, Cheetah Girls. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Um, my next note is Gabriella's hair was amazing the whole movie.
Hmm.
Gabriella with the curls and a baby blue shirt. That's the combo right there.
Yeah.
That's the combo. Baby blue shirt to match Troy's baby blue eyes.
Yeah.
The bathroom scene will always be my favorite. How did she not see her moment in any movie? Like
Right.
when Gabriella's hiding
I was
and
thinking the same
Sharpay's,
thing.
she's standing right in front of
He
her.
walked right by her. She looked in the
It's
mirror.
he literally looks in the mirror and to the right where Gabrielle is standing. It's my favorite. How did she not see her moment in any movie ever? Like I'm like, how did she not see her? It's so good. Coach Bolton was unnecessarily rude to Gabriella.
Yeah.
Like I was like, why is he being rude to this young girl?
Yeah.
Like I understand he was like very, mad that Troy wasn't focused on
He just needed a
basketball,
kick in the ass.
the love of the game. But Gabriella was a good girl. She wasn't like some little thotty that was like taking Troy's attention away. She was a mathlete. Like, come on. Who the hell is singing with Gabriella during When There Was Me and You? Who did they
I don't know. I have the
intertwine
same
her voice
note.
with?
I have the same note. I'm like, what did they do for certain? Like anytime she went like too low, different voice.
Deep woman's voice.
Yeah.
Like we know that Zac Efron's was mixed with Drew Seeley. Like I saw Drew Seeley perform with the High School Musical cast. Who the hell did they mix Gabriella's voice with?
Yep.
And then my last note is, and in the end, it was all just a callback.
Yep.
That wasn't even the fucking musical. It was just a callback. The whole movie is just about the callback.
Well,
Oh.
what's so funny is when you rewatch it again too, you're kind of like, what even is this musical? Like
They don't even do the musical. It's just a callback.
No, it is great. I will get into mine. I started with the line from the guy running the karaoke at the lodge when he says, "Someday you guys might thank me for this or not." I was like, wow, how meta, because it really launched their career. Like they should thank this man because it all stems from this one moment of them singing karaoke together.
Or not because of the breakup,
Yeah, or not. There's times in their lives where they probably were cursing High School Musical's name, but
right. Never us though.
Never. And then I immediately said they really should have let Zach sing in the movie. Like that it's unfortunately one of the more preposterous things because he goes from talking to singing and it's just clearly a different voice. Like it's just like, let the man sing. I just don't understand. It's crazy that they wouldn't let him sing in this movie.
And also
clearly they had a thing against like deeper voices. Like they were like, we want everybody to sound really hot. I don't know.
And then crazy because he sang in the second and third movie, also sang in Hairspray. Like Zac Efron can sing.
Well, apparently he had to fight. Like he had to fight to let him sing.
Fight to use his voice.
Yeah. I then said Baby V was so adorable. I mean, she's just so cute. Like
she was the cute.
So cute. Doesn't really get cuter, honestly.
Baby, come back to me.
Yeah. And it said Darbus was really throwing out detention super easily. Like it was just like everybody got detention like right away. Innovative basketball choreography, same kind of vibe. Kenny Ortega was just a genius. You weren't seeing basketball musical scenes like this. Then I have some iconic lines written down that really have stuck with me through the years. And what the heck are those two doing in a tree?
The best.
Is the best. And then also when Troy is like, I want to try something new to his dad. And he goes, you mean like going left? That one kills me every time too. Like just talking about basketball, like, oh, you mean going left? The man loves basketball. I wrote this down during Sharpay and Ryan's performance of, I said 2006 fashion will not and should not ever be replicated. Like there are some things that come back around, but this era, it really should not. Kelsi just wrote an entire musical on her own. Like she's like a high school kid who was like, oh, she's our composer. She wrote all the music, the lyrics, the song, everything. She wrote them all. She wrote it all.
When she dropped her papers, you would have thought that like she got shot, like the way that Zac
Yes.
Efron like sprinted to the stage.
That was some good physical acting from her. You know,
Mhm.
she really had to throw that in the air. And same kind of thing. Stick to the status quo. Just groundbreaking. That's all I have written down.
Mhm.
Then I said Sharpay and Zeke never got to be anything.
Yes, I was gonna write that down and then I didn't. But yes,
know?
I had the same thought. What
He had-
happened there? Why didn't
he-
they make that a thing?
I don't know. He had such a crush on her, and they just
Did
never
they?
let that be something.
My question is, was this because they maybe didn't know if High School Musical 2 was going to be approved and or like whatever, and then once High School Musical 2 was approved, they were like, no, we have to keep up this whole Sharpay and Troy thing because then we would
Yeah.
kind of run out of a storyline in High School Musical 2. So maybe they like threw that in the end and then they didn't know there would be a second, but then they had to keep
Yeah.
up the whole Troy Sharpay thing.
I agree. I think that definitely came into play. Another iconic line from Troy. That girl is Gabriella, and she is very nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She is.
She's a nice lady.
She is very nice. And that's when I wrote Bart Johnson put on an award-winning performance. Some might call it overacting, some might call it the perfect amount.
Mhm.
And I would say the perfect amount. I then said Chad, all-time bad friend. You know, really just like to set up the sneak attack live stream camera, that's diabolical.
It is
Supposed to be
diabolical.
his best friend.
And it's also the same thing. John Tucker Must Die. They do the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it's high school boys. That you
Yep.
know, he's supposed to be a good friend, but it's a high school boy friend, right?
Totally.
There.
And then I said pretty innovative for 2006 that they did like a full-blown surprise intervention video sneak attack, like with their
Also,
computer.
the way that it was shot, it was like filmed like on a movie camera. Like the quality of
Correct.
it, and it was like in his face. It's like there's no way that they could have like done that.
And then I said the same thing. There's just a different voice singing parts of When There Was Me and You. Like I don't, that was never addressed. It was never talked about, but there absolutely is. Troy really nailed the big romantic gestures. He always, you know, showing up in her backyard, the whole thing.
Mhm.
Then I said, why did they have to put Kelsi in that little top hat? You know, it just was not necessary.
She's a composer.
I know,
Composers
but
wear
what was
hats.
that hat? Oh God. And then I said, what even was this musical?
What the fuck was the musical?
Because it's so funny to me that the parts that Troy and Gabriella and Ryan and Sharpay were auditioning for are the same roles. So I'm like, they're auditioning for the same pair, but like, how is that pair singing Bop to the Top and then like break, like who are these characters?
Right.
What is this musical? Like just,
and Sharpay and Ryan are brother and sister.
yes. So, God. I said there was a line violation on the opening tip of the basketball game. There was. He's over the line. They didn't reshoot that. That was referee Fran. And then there's multiple parts during Breaking Free that honestly are core memories of watching for the first time and ingrained in my brain forever. It's changed me as a human and it changed me as a heterosexual female, you know? Where Troy moonwalking during Breaking Free. Woo!
Oh my God. That changed lives.
And then when he does the singing Breaking Free, he does the ooh. You know the exact part I'm talking about?
So good.
That was the other one where I was like, oh God, made me fall in love with that man right there. And then I said for the closing basketball game, they could have really filled the gym a little bit more. Empty stands for a big championship. There's not that many, you know, fill the gym. I was missing that atmosphere.
You know what though? Here's the thing. I'm okay with that because realistically, there's sometimes where there's too many people in the gym, and I'm like, not everyone's showing up to the championship game.
Yeah, fair.
In this school, they are.
Yeah, I mean, this was basketball. Basketball's life.
Right, it's true.
Gabriella's red dress was a cultural moment. She came out in that red dress, and red is her color. She looked amazing. And then my last and final note was, I miss dance along TV movie premieres. The things that they would do when you could watch, and they did the dance along so that you could learn all the moves. Yeah,
that was the best. That was the best. That's what I did for one of my birthday parties when I was younger. It's like the only birthday party I really had was we put the High School Musical 2 dance along thing on and
Yeah.
a huge
It was the
slumber
best way
party.
to sit at home with your friends, pop on Disney Channel, watch that on a Friday night, and learn all the dance moves.
So good. So
Yep.
good.
Yep. Now kids just can look them up on TikTok.
Yeah. You know what was also the best? The New Year's Eve, the Disney Channel New Year's Eve. I
Yes.
lived for the
Yes.
Disney Channel New Year's Eve.
Yep. Totally. They did some really good additional specials when it came to
They
High School
did. They
Musical as
really
well, you
had
know?
it fucking locked down.
Yeah,
They
they
did.
did. They did.
All right, Noah, let's
That's
hear
all
your
me.
thoughts.
Okay,
should be good.
I'll go through these. So my first one was Troy's dad overacting from the start. Like when they were playing basketball, I'm like, okay, because I didn't remember like his
Mhm.
character really. I'm like, oh wow, okay. He's just like on another level than all the other actors.
Yeah, and he nails it, honestly.
then I said-
But it's like between him and Miss Darbus, like they equal each
Miss
other.
Darbus
You know?
feels like more natural to me. I don't know.
Don't come for Bart like that.
I can't believe I thought Zac Efron was actually singing as a kid. Like I did.
I mean, it's not so far off though. Like
No.
his voice was mixed with Drew, and then he was.
Yeah, but it's just
singing.
like watching it now, it's just so obviously like a pre-recorded thing.
Yeah.
I said, did Troy sing prior to this, or was he just like, wow, I'm an incredible singer? Like in the moment. Like he just started like belting out and like it's like, had he ever done this before? Or he's just like, oh wow.
Karaoke just took over.
Yeah.
So when he said like Gabriella and then just looked into the distance, like after she walked away, like after like getting her number or whatever, I was like, that was the most dramatic thing I've ever seen.
Ugh, so good.
And it made my heart fucking flutter.
Uh-huh.
I said I think Ashley Tisdale gave the best acting performance in this movie, just like pure
He's great.
like character.
She was great, but the thing is like she had to like really play an over the top character, which I sometimes think is probably easier to do to play like an over the top mean person because she's supposed to be very dramatic, whereas to be subtle like Gabriella and Troy is a different kind of acting.
Also, was Sweet Life already on TV?
Yeah, she was in Sweet Life and High School
so it's like very
time.
similar to her character.
Because there is not at all.
Oh, not at all.
She plays complete opposite characters.
Sweet Life,
really?
she's like chill girl.
Wait,
yeah,
she
Sweet
is?
Life, she's like Candy Girl.
She's
Like,
not playing London Tipton.
Oh, maybe I was thinking of London Tipton.
yeah, no. And then there's a High School Musical episode of Sweet Life where they're like auditioning to play the roles, and like she's fighting to play like Sharpay, and they're like, no.
Oh, that makes it even more impressive.
Yeah.
I said, get your head in the game will always be a hit. Like
Yep.
that was sick. Then I said Troy's dad is my favorite character. I think that was after he yelled like the tree thing. I'm like, this guy is hilarious.
What the hell are you two doing in a tree?
Yeah. I said Miss Darbus is like an alternate universe Miranda Priestley. Like I don't know why. Like I just kept thinking of that character this whole movie every time she's on screen. I mean, they kind of look similar, I guess. But like, I'm like, if Miranda didn't like make it, this is what she would be doing.
You would have been a high school theater teacher.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, that's funny.
Then I said Troy's dad is a lunatic. I think that was when he was like yelling at Gabriella.
Hyper focus on
you were very
Mr.
focused
Bolton.
on Coach Bolton.
I was just like, wow, take it easy, man. Like he's like, oh, like
this is a close practice.
Yeah, it's like seriously.
Yeah, that
like,
what he. I said the same thing. He was a little too hard on Gabriella there.
Yeah. The difference between a Tony Award and Tony Hawk is a great line. That was. And then I said them secretly filming Troy to show Gabriella is the original Kaylor and Aaron, like that. It was like the exact same thing. Like when she was just like watching the phone, I'm like, this is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I could not stop laughing when he said, when they were on the phone together, when he was outside her house and he was like, turn around, and he's just like standing in her doorway or like window, but like he had to like climb up there and he was talking on the phone the whole time. So it wasn't like he was out of breath or anything. Like he's just like, turn around, and he's just right there.
Yeah, why? Elite athlete.
Yeah. Troy doing double guns in the mirror and then sprinting through the locker room, like and pushing all his teammates out of the way was just very funny. And then my last one was I love how there's a full band in the Breaking Free instrumental, even though there's just a piano on stage. Like
I
just
had
out
that
of
thought.
nowhere, like
I
there's like
just
drums and like
No, I had that exact same thought. I didn't write it down, but I was just like, it is so funny that this is like meant to be an acoustic performance. Like it's just like supposed to be them and a piano, but it is not.
and they're like dancing around as if that music is like like
Yeah.
if there's the full band on stage, but it's just a piano.
Oh my God, such a good point. Oh, well, I mean, honestly, though, it still hits. Like, I don't watch this movie and go, yeah, this was a younger me thing. Like, I watch this movie and it stands the test of time. I'm like, yes, this movie's incredible. It was groundbreaking. It started a revolution. And I will continue to feel that way for the rest of my life. Like, it wasn't just a younger me thing. I truly think High School Musical is the best.
No, I agree. And I think it is a moment in time where I will always, for the rest of my life, when I see somebody that wants to be an actor or a singer and an athlete, I'm like, oh, you're Troy Bolton. Like, like it's just, it's going to be referenced like that forever. Like, even when I made the joke to Joe's sister when we went to go see Wicked, because the guy playing Fiyero, I was reading his playbill and it was like, he's fantastic. He's an actor. He's tall. He's handsome. And then it was like, oh, he was a college swimmer and was like good enough to compete in the Olympic trials at a certain point in his life. And I was like, oh, he's a Troy Bolton,
Yeah.
He can do it all.
Did you have guy friends that wanted to be like acted like Troy Bolton? Because I did. Like
yeah,
in
my little brother. My little brother went through an acting phase, and I would not be surprised if it was because of High School Musical.
Yeah, I'm thinking of this kid specifically, like truly tried to act like he was Troy Bolton. Like he played all the sports, but he also acted in all the musicals, and his whole demeanor he like picked up on like trying to act like Troy Bolton. And who can blame a young man when he sees someone like Troy Bolton doing it all?
I think, and like I said, I think it was a sexual awakening for many as well, whether for whoever in the movie. But there's this tiny specific moments that I remember, and watching it back, it's so funny because there are a couple instances where Zach leans against the wall in like a cool guy vibe, and he crosses his arms and he puts one leg up on the wall so that his knee is bent, and he's just like that, and that's all it took. That's all it took for me to be like, damn, that guy's cool.
and you're just like, how did they find you?
I know.
How did they find a
diamond,
perfect specimen like Zac Efron to put in this movie?
Diamond, an
I'm like,
absolute
where
diamond.
did he come from? How did they find him?
I know.
It's beautiful, a beautiful cast. I mean, all of them. One of the greatest castings. Like everybody nailed their roles.
Yep.
Everybody nailed their roles.
Yep.
So A for High School Musical all around.
Absolutely. Do you enjoy watching the movie, Noah?
Yeah. No, I remember, like, I can like vividly remember like when this came out and like watching it. Like I think it must have been a Friday night.
It was a Friday night.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had nothing better to do with my
life.
I
remember exactly where I was.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I remember. I didn't think it was 2006 for some reason. Like I thought it was later than that, but so I was only like 11.
No, it was 2006 because they came out like every single year of my middle school life, which was just truly incredible timing because when High School Musical 3 came out, I was going into high school. So they're all graduating high school. And they're like, they're big moments. Me and my friends were graduating 8th grade. And a lot of us were like going to different high schools because we all we were at Catholic school for grade school. So like there's a ton of different high schools that some went to the public schools, some went to other private schools. So we all went to go see the movie together and sobbed like babies because we were like, this is us. We're leaving each other. We're all going down different paths. Like it just lined up so perfectly with the age that I was at to be like 11, 12, 13 and be so locked into these movies.
It was relatable. It was
Yes.
a relatable movie.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful films, and I can't wait to talk about the second one on Wednesday.
I know. I'm excited to watch.
Yeah.
Honestly, Friday night, I had to stop myself from immediately pressing play on High School Musical 2 after I finished High School Musical. Because it was like, I was watching kind of late and I was like, I need to go to bed. I cannot stay up and watch High School Musical 2 now as well. But it's hard because you want to just immediately
You
watch
just want to
it.
go right into it. Yeah.
You do.
I mean, the crazy thing is I watched High School Musical 2 last week.
Just for
Just for
funsies.
fun. And now I will be watching it again to take notes. That was
Yes.
for pleasure. This will be for
Yep.
work.
Yep.
All right. Everybody watch High School Musical 2 for Wednesday.